Morning, CakeDrain Nation. I'm Kane Martin, and I just woke up.
Good morning, CakeDrain Nation. I'm Drake the True Snake, and I just woke up. Morning.
What's up, CakeDrain Nation? Welcome back to I Just Woke Up. Sorry about no episode yesterday. We were having some technical difficulties, Drake and I, but we got it all fixed, and we're bringing you today's awesome episode. A little bit late, but that's okay. I think this will make up for it. So today is October 1st. I guess the more official beginning of #CakeDrain History Month. Now, as you know, or might have already seen, we released our first historical movie today, the very first CakeDrain film, M.A.S.K.S. Now go check it out, there'll be a link in the description. But now, in honor of the beginning of CakeDrain Month, let's talk about the beginnings of CakeDrain. I'm going to take it over to Drake, and he's going to lay it out for you.
What's up, CakeDrain Nation? Good morning. What's up, Kane? Today we're going to talk about what led us to movie making, or what led us into our passion here. So my side, what happened with me was I always loved movies. I always loved acting. I was in drama for 5 years until that point, since I was in like 8th grade, 7th or 8th grade, and I loved it. I loved acting. I loved, my big dream was to make movies at some point. So that was always a fun thing. Big passion of mine was performing and being in front of the camera. I've always dreamt about that. So for my senior project in high school, this is even before I met Kane, I wrote a script. My senior project was writing a script and directing and starring in a somewhat superhero film. It was really, really cheesy. But it was one that I wanted to do. It was my first film, so it turned out to be just a trailer. I never really finished it, but I'm kind of glad I didn't, because it was bad. But it was a huge thing for me to do, to actually learn how to write the script and how to, camera angles and how to make things look the way you want them to look. So that was a really cool thing that I learned. So fast forward to a couple years later, I met Kane at an event we used to have called Recon at our church. Friday nights we had Recon, and DJ brought his friend Kane one time, and it was kind of, we met, we became kind of friends. But then I had to move because God had called me to go into wrestling at that time. So I left there. I was there for about 9 months, but movies were still in my mind, which was really weird. When God called me to come back, it was really the big push for what I was going to do, because me and Kane met back up and just said, oh, what do you like to do? Oh, I want to make movies. Hey, me too. Let's do it, because I told him about John and Annie, which are characters I have created, and he like, yeah, I would love to make movies too. So we just kind of got together, and I really believe it was a God thing because of the timing on it was so close together and really cool. So that was an awesome time.
So the beginning of my side of the CakeDrain half started a really long time ago. When I was a little kid, I was fascinated with storytelling and imagination. And one of the reasons why I never wanted to grow up was because I didn't want to lose my imagination. But my mother, being the awesome inspiration that she is, told me that when I grow up I don't have to lose my imagination, and that there are adults that make a living off of their imaginations. And I was just like, wow, that is so awesome. And that is really what ignited the spark that later exploded into the passion for movie making. Now it really starts with my first creative outlet being drawing. When I was little, I just loved to draw. I made my own comic books. I mentioned that during Superhero Week. I made my own Spider-Man comics. I made my own Star Wars comics. I love to draw and to tell stories and create characters through that. Next was probably in middle school. I got more into the writing side. My creative outlet was writing songs. I was very interested in music during that time. I never really got into music making, but I did do songwriting for a while just for fun. And that transitioned into high school. I kind of continued that a little bit off and on. And then during my later years, my junior and senior year in high school, I got into writing fiction. Short stories and novellas. And my English teacher in high school was really a strong force behind encouraging me in that area. If it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today. He got me into writing and reading a lot, and so that was my main creative outlet. I thought I had found my passion at that time, which was to become an author, and then I was always fascinated with movies, and I'm like, man, it might be fun to actually write movies as well, write novels and short stories and also screenplays. And so that's where that transition began. I wrote a screenplay, and me and my English teacher actually developed an AV class at the school. At the time, it didn't exist, so we kind of created one. And I was going to write my script, and I was going to have him kind of direct it, and I was going to star in the movie along with some other people and just kind of serve as a writer and an actor. But he encouraged me to actually direct it, and so he helped me with that. And the movie's called The Greenhouse. This is my very, very first movie, and it was an experience. We'll say that. Our filming schedule was extremely, extremely tight. We had only like 15 minutes a day to film, which you can't even really get everybody in the same room and get a camera set up in 15 minutes. So, needless to say, it was a slow process. There were weeks and weeks of hardly any footage until one day we decided to just stay after class into the late evening and just finish the whole thing. And it was an experience. It was a good experience because it ignited it made that spark that ignited in me before just explode, and I realized this is what I want to do. This is what I'm meant to do. This is what God has called me to do, and that is to make film, because I just never felt any kind of creative fulfillment like that before. And so I knew that I wanted to continue writing, but my focus had changed from primarily on the novel side to now primarily on the film side, writing and directing films. And then we get into the CakeDrain side. Me and Drake met at church, like he mentioned, through an outreach program that they had. I was starting to go back to church with my friend DJ, who you've seen in things. You'll see him in the movie today. And me and Drake kind of, we met, and then he had to move, but whenever he came back, we really, really hit it off. We're like, wait a minute, you love movies too. You love horror movies too? I love horror movies. You want to make movies? Let's make movies. And so we, right on the spot, we're like, what should we call ourselves, Drake and Kane and Drake, Drain Cake. No, that sounds weird. CakeDrain. Boom, and there it was. CakeDrain was born. And then we started working on that first movie, The Hatter's Revenge, that we never really finished. It was kind of more of a screen test. I finished it later on, but it was very experimental. And then, of course, M.A.S.K.S, which you will see today or have already seen. And that right there, that's the beginnings of CakeDrain. It's a simple but awesome story, and I'm so excited to see where the rest of it goes, so that, you know, in 3 more years we can look back again and be like, wow, we've come so far. And whenever we're old, just reminisce on the awesome story of CakeDrain and the legacy. You know, because the legacy is what is most important, probably to me, than just the success of CakeDrain itself, but the building of a community. You know, like the AV class me and my English teacher created didn't just end after I finished the class, after I graduated. No, he kept the class, and now they take student films to a local film festival, and they show them there, which that didn't even happen with the movie I made. We just kind of had a premiere in school. And so the legacy kind of lives on and encouraged a video making community, which is awesome. And that's what it's all about. So I'll see you guys in the next episode.
I hope you guys have enjoyed our stories for what led us into movie making and what brought us together and made CakeDrain. So we will see you guys tomorrow. Alright, and also for more information, check out the Daily Slither on my channel, Drake the True Snake, and make sure you get it's a little extra bonus information. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out. Remember, Bruce!
My butler's gone, he went away.